Hello viewers, this is Just Fake Network TV, a place where you can get the latest information about Nigeria news and all the news in details. 4 billion naira allegation. Resign first before you see me, blogger DS Vice President Osinbajo. Since the news of the arrest of the EFCC boss Osinbajo broke, there have been insinuations from a US-based blogger and a former aide to President Jonathan Jackson Ude that the embattled chairman had mentioned that he had given part of the controversial missing funds to the tune of 4 billion naira to the vice president. Although the vice president had since yesterday debunked that news through his media office, it is coming as shocking information since the vice president is seen as one of the cleanest of the appointees in the government. Considering he is a pastor and for once, he has never been caught in any controversial circumstances. It therefore came as a rude shock to his supporters and Nigerians in general when the vice president's name was mentioned as a part of the beneficiaries of the sad sum. The vice president Osinbajo had already filed a complaint to the IG of police asking for criminal proceedings to be initiated against the blogger. In a letter sent this afternoon, the vice president had, through his lawyer Bayo Oshikiton, said the accused blogger Jackson Ude had been fingered as the author of a story in which the embattled EFCC chairman, who is currently facing a probe panel, had given 4 billion naira to the vice president. And here is what the letter is. The letter says that Inspector General of Police, Force Headquarters, Lewis Edet House, the said DSA criminal defamations of the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, Professor Osinbajo's son, by Jackson Ude, will act as solicitor to Professor Osinbajo's son, the Vice President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and on whose instructions will write the petitions against one Jackson Ude for criminal defamation. Our instructions shows that the said Jackson Ude is an online journalist who publishes under the pen named Point Blank News. He is reputed for publishing online articles via the social media applications Twitter with the username at Jackson Ude website. And look at what Jackson Ude said. He said the Ghana investment, Okechukwu, the Herald boy, the secretly recorded night vigil prayers at the village chapel, the letter of resignations written for Buhari in Tunis by Tinubu Osinbajo while he was sick, the scheming to take over. This na payback for him. And he said embattled former acting chairman of the EFCC stole so much that he could not account for 39 billion naira, gave Osinbajo 4 billion naira after the vice president gave instructions to him to release some of the recovered loot. The vice president further noted that Jackson Ude was in the habit of publishing malicious articles against his person. Other printed copies of some of the bloggers' allegedly false reports against vice president were also added to the petition. However, in a split reaction, the US-based blogger called the bluff of the vice president. In his words, Osinbajo's son cannot sue him while still occupying the office of the vice president, noting that it was not constitutional. And here we have, this is what Jackson Ude said. Jackson Ude said, I am not afraid of Osinbajo and his minions. If he indeed wants to go to court, he needs to resign first and sue me. He cannot be vice president and be using state resources to intimidate the judiciary. He cannot waive an immunity that he didn't place. Osinbajo should resign first. He, however, advised the vice president that in order to sue him, he must first resign his office and sue him as a normal Nigerian. Ude further said the vice president was using his office to intimidate him. Another point to note is that for Ude to be properly put on trials and have his court papers served, he must be extradited to Nigeria to face trial. Wow. So guys, what is your own take about this? What do you think? People were saying that if you have genuine and concrete evidence against him, if you don't need to hide under his resignation before you are prosecuted. You will soon be sent to jail and teach your sense. That's the fact about it. If Jackson Ude has a very genuine evidence, he should go ahead and sue vice president. But if he doesn't have a genuine evidence, he's not supposed to be saying that the vice president should resign. Why will Vice President resign? It doesn't make sense at all. The reality is that he is not making sense. Trust me, it's not making sense. You know, people were saying that why must Vice President resign before he can investigate bloggers? You know, people were saying that why must Vice President resign before he can investigate the blogger? He's looking for a cheap popularity. They are paid to frustrate a good successor to Buhari. It's a politically calculated to remove Osinbajo so that they can have their ways to destabilize a good successor to Buhari. His game plan of hush puppy. It seems to me that your purpose for spreading this accusation is for the Vice President to resign before defending himself. But sorry to disappoint you, he won't. You don't dictate to the Vice President. This is not the Americans with their suicidal resignations. Here we fight in office. Definitely, we fight in office. Nobody can just come and say the Vice President should resign. Is that how it's easy to resign? Even when the whole situation was tough for Vice President, then Vice President did not resign. Even when there was like an argument between Abba Kyari before he died and Osinbajo, he didn't resign. Even when there was a lot of humiliations, he didn't resign. And this is to tell you that as a leader, you must face so many things like that. So for Jackson Ude to say that is not making sense at all. It's not making sense. And the reality is that all of them are playing because of 2023 presidential election. They are just coming up. And the Kabas are taking advantage of the president's status. Just recently, you can imagine what they did to his wife and Hate. You can imagine this. And with what Jackson Ude says, it shows that he is actually working for Goodluck Jonathan 2023 presidential project. But the reality is that he has chosen the wrong target. May God help us. May God help us in this Nigerian system. Nigerians are saying that Osinbajo is not a saint. Let him be proved. Being a pastor doesn't mean that he is sinless. He shouldn't hurriedly exonerate him. I am short of words. Would they hear this word of God? God says, touch not my anointed and do my prophet no harm. You blew the whistle of alleged 4 billion naira bribe against the vice president while he's still in office. And so he can sue you for defamations of character while still in office. You can't dictate what is going on to happen next. Get ready to prove yourself. Well, so guys, you've heard it all. What do you think about the issue of Jackson Ude? Do you think he's actually saying the truth or not? To me, I will not support what Jackson Ude said. So kindly drop your comments at the comment section below. For those who subscribe, we want to say a very big thank you to you for subscribing. We'll say God bless you. If you're yet to do so, kindly press the subscription button below. And also, please don't forget to press the notification button so that whenever we upload news, you will always be the first person to watch our latest news anytime, any day. Thank you so much for this great work. We appreciate you. God bless you. Always stay safe at this crucial time. Bye.